Hey, welcome to Trusty Huckster Mercantile and welcome to the February Huckster Hop. I'm going to apologize in advance for this video. I'm having some computer issues and I am no longer able to edit videos together. I have to do all this stuff on my phone. So this one, just going to do the best I can. What I am showcasing here as part of the Huckster Hop, even though what I typically like to sell are vintage, what I'm offering in an easy way of doing a drop sale for without a lot of editing is I'm offering patterns which are used to make these quilts that I'm showing. So I'm selling the patterns, not the quilts. If you followed my video from the beginning, you know that in my past life, I was once married. And at the time I was married to my wife, we owned a quilt store, a brick and mortar quilt fabric store. And this is the pattern making business that we invested in. So what these are is there is a scrap design of making these quilts. So this is the cat nap design. So you can kind of see the size. They all vary a little bit in size. But what's nice about it, if you are a quilter, if you're not a quilter, I'm not selling the finished quilts, I'm only selling the patterns. So you could probably skip this video, but you might still find it interesting because what the pattern does is it gives you the instructions of how to cut these different pieces and then sew them together. So you don't actually have to be a quilter, you just have to be able to sew and to make all these different, and then you just use whatever scrap fabric you have. So you can make, if your cat is black and white, instead of using this brown fabric, you can use black fabric. You put it onto a background, put a frame on it, and then you make it into a quilt wall hanging. Because obviously this is very small, it's not much of a quilt, but you can do a quilted wall hanging and you actually would have a catnap quilt. Others, all of them are animal related. So I think this was the, maybe the Irish Wolfhound. And we got the Great Dane, got the miniature Schnauzer, got another cat pattern, and a flamingo. The flamingo is actually one of the largest ones. You can see how big this actually is. So flamingo is fairly large. But they all pretty much work the same way. Again, you've got these individual pieces that the pattern tells you, how big to cut the eye, how big to cut this patch. You use whatever fabric you want. So if you're Great Dane, slightly different coloration, you can bring different colors into it. And there is a side business. So if you're interested in this and you're not a quote unquote quilter, there are businesses that are available. We used to do it where people would sew together just the top and then they would give it to somebody else to turn it into the actual quilted piece. So, even if you're not a quilter, you could still have something like this. Again, if you're familiar with a sewing machine. So showing a quick example, going to try and do this with only one hand. I should have thought to open this earlier. It does not want to open. Cat want to open it easier? There we go. Cat opened a little bit easier. So what you get, and I will go through all the animals that I have available, and they will be $5 each, which is less than I typically sell, what we sold these for at the time we owned the brick and mortar store. So you get the pattern making paper in most of them. You can see right on here, it says over 50 patterns are available. So this is the catnap. This is what you're buying. So you see, it's basically the exact same pattern that was done for the quilt. You use the tracing paper that comes with it to trace out all these individual pieces. You would actually cut with a little bit of an extra edge so that you have a slightly larger piece that you can actually sew down. And the instructions tell you how many pieces of fabric you need, light prints, dark prints, because again, you can make it whatever color you want, and then the instructions. So it's predominantly considered an appliqué pattern. That's effectively what you're doing, depending on how you want to do it, but it gives you step-by-step process, place the pattern on a flat surface, join pages 1 and 2. Some of the bigger patterns have more than one sheet, so you have to kind of connect them together. Use the paper or freezer paper, so you can do this, as many times as you want. Cut it apart on the solid lines. You may wish to work with one section at a time. Do not cut the master drawing. You do not want to cut this apart, because if you do, you'll never be able to use it again. So step-by-step process to do all of these. You can see they're all copyrighted by the woman who, when she retired, we purchased this business from her. So a lot of these patterns were inventory that we had picked up at that time, and then we ended up selling the business. And let's just say, as part of the divorce, I inherited this portion of the business, and it's been sitting in a closet ever since. So I'm going to see what money I can make doing this. So what we've got, all of these are $5 a piece, and I'm not going to show you any more of the quilts. These were really just an idea, so you can kind of see how they were done. If you're a sewer, if you're a quilter, you like doing applique, or you just like doing craft projects, you can do all this with glue if you want. This is what you're getting, and I will just go through the patterns that are available, and all you need to do is in the comments. I have more than one of pretty much all of these. I'll have to verify, but pretty much there should be you shouldn't be blocking anybody else from getting these. So they'll be $5 each plus the shipping to get them to you. And these are the patterns that I've got available. We've got the catnap. I'll start with the cats. We've got the catnap, the Himalayan cat, and the other one I'd shown, the yellow cat. So those are, this one finished size is 13 by 13. The Himalayan cat is 17 by 22. And the catnap I showed you was 11 by 9. It's one of the smaller ones. You can always make it bigger by putting a wider border on it, but those are the sizes of the individual pictures. We also have the flamingo. It is 16 by 22. Again, you can add the borders to it. So he is also $5. And then the rest of these are all going to be the dogs. The Yorkshire Terrier, 11 by 17. The German short-haired pointer, 11 by 17. Cocker Spaniel, 11 by 14. The Beagle, 11.5 by 14. The Brittany Spaniel, 11 by 17. The Border Collie, 15 by 18. Jack Russell Terrier. You can see that was the name of their store. We sold them for $9 at the time. 14 by 21. The Boxer, 11 by 17. Bulldog. Check out the Bulldog. 13 by 16. The Keeshond. I'm not familiar with this breed. 11 by 17. And also you can get an idea of just the general shape of the dogs. If you've got a mutt or a mixed breed, you can just find the one that most similarly represents your dog and make him your own. The Irish Wolfhound, 11 by 17. The Great Pyrenees, 11 by 17. The Great Dane. And typically the quilt that we bought, the quilts as part of the business. So you can see this was the quilt that was made, and it's then the picture of the pattern. So one and the same. Great Dane, 17 by 22. Basset Hound, 11 by 17. Golden Retriever, 12 by 15. Border Terrier, 11 by 17. Bichon Frise, 12 by 12. So this is a Gordon / Irish setter. I don't think I know what a Gordon setter is, but I guess they must look the same. 16 by 18. Springer Spaniel, 11 by 13. Soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, 11 by 17. The Airedale Welsh Terrier, 17 by 22. The Scottish Terrier. I think that one changed. Wait, put it in here. 11 by 17. He was just packed out of order. The Sheltie, 11 by 17. Poodle, 11 by 14. Westie, the West Highland White Terrier, the Westie, 11 by 17. The Papillon, 13 by 12. Pomeranian, 17 by 22. And the last one that I have here is the wire-haired Fox Terrier, which was 16 by 19. I had other breeds available, but I think in some cases, I think I might have sold out of those and we didn't really have a way to reprint them. So this is really just dead stock that we're trying to get rid of. And at some point, I may end up selling the quilts, but I don't want to do so until I decide what to do with the bigger business, because if anyone wanted to recreate this business, and I have talked to somebody about doing that, they would want the actual quilts to support that, because recreating all of these would be quite the job. So that is what I've got available. Not my typical offering, so I do apologize. And also, this video is really, really short, so I do hope that you come back in 15 minutes after this, because there will be another video running after mine. Check the entire schedule of my video that's in the description of this video for everyone that had a video running tonight. And there will be another drop sale shop hop running in March that is going to be hosted by Beth from Sweet Treats and Pretties. So again, thank you for watching my video. I apologize again for both the quality and content. But hey, hopefully there'll be a handful of people that are interested in this, and maybe I can get rid of some of these. So $5 each plus shipping, first class mail, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.